Hello there everyone and welcome back. I got my fancy new cruiser now. We are Admiral level 2 and everything is looking really well, I gotta say. And we're even like one match away from getting my light cruisers to level 3. At the very least 2 of them. So safe to say this run is going a lot better than it had before when I attempted the Space Marines. Let's just hope it continues that way. Although I said before in the first episode, these matches are probably going to drag on a lot longer than what I'm used to, at least with the Tau Empire. Because after all, their firepower is a lot weaker in exchange for all the boarding potential that they have. Really, it's probably only the torpedoes and possibly bombardment cannons that are a real damage dealer. Well, 45 damage, it's an amazing burst potential, mind you. It practically is a broadside turret. At least a broadside turret in comparison to these things, yeah. The rate of fire, or the damage per second, I guess would be the proper way to measure it, is about the same. Well, it's a little bit better for broadside weaponry, but can't ignore a good critical hit chance. I'm just wondering what it means by improved critical hit chance on the attributes for it, because I clearly see it as 22.5%. So does that mean there's even more likeliness of critical hits or something that I'm not aware of? I don't know. It seems a little redundant if you ask me. But nonetheless, we are doing well there. Mostly they've been against our Space Marines and Imperial Navy. We'll see if we can get some extra variety, and hopefully I can fight me some chaos. That would be a nice treat. Something that I had good luck with fighting beforehand. Really, they were the only battles I actually won against there with my Ultramarine fleet there, rather, were the 2 matches I had against Chaos. Everything else I'm pretty certain was an abysmal failure, so knowing my luck, that's going to completely turn around somehow. More than likely it's because I never get the critical hits I want. Alright, it is showtime. It looks like we're fighting an Admiral level 1 fleet, so the tables have turned for me as far as my last Space Marine match. So I know for a fact he has 262 points, I think it was. So, which begs the question, how do I want to do this? Do I just field? I should field my 2 light cruisers there, get them to level 3 at the same time. Because there's no way I can get this cruiser in unless I want to go with a couple of hunters. Well, I don't have boarding torpedoes, so that limits my flexibility, so until I can get some upgrades on these frigates, 2 cruisers is probably a good route to go. But it's something I really need to practice and try to execute, is at the very least start utilizing those frigates, especially the hunters for the torpedoes, but micromanage them is going to be a bit of a pain because of how far spread out they are. If I could get them in a really tight formation like this, for example, of course, the AI, or rather the way the game behaves, would actually punish me for that by slowing down my fleet. But if I could get them in a tight formation like that, then it'd be really simple to kind of do bombing runs with them. Be a little bit tight clumped there for any like Nova cannons or bombs. What is it? The plasma bombs, so probably not the smartest idea. But it looks like there's nothing extra. This looking good in my favor so far. Unless the extra bonus points allowed him to... Well, I know for a fact he doesn't have a cruiser, because otherwise this would be a 300-point battle. So, he just... I'm trying to remember. I don't really remember a whole lot if I could get a field of frigate from my level... Let me try it again. I'm not sure what I had available point-wise for when the tables had turned when I was the lower level fleet. So I don't think he should have the points for maybe a frigate. I'm not sure. I guess it really comes down to what kind of cruisers he has. And there's nothing but asteroid fields here, so where do I want to hurt him? Do I want to hurt him away from this asteroid field? Because I don't want to dance around it, if I can help it. Okay, so he has a Mark 1. He has 2 Mark 1s. And thankfully I'm already turning for that. And I also got my Stormhawks to kind of shoot those down. So not a huge problem, but this is a dead-on perfect Amir match. Only exception might be the level difference. So really it comes down to what kind of abilities he has. Because if he could have boring torpedoes, okay, he has the auger probe. I may even dodge that because of the turn. That would be perfect luck. Not that it matters. That probably doesn't matter because we're about to engage anyway, quite frankly. Kind of pointless. Now, can I get the hits in I want? Actually, let me get my Thunderhawks going if they choose to launch. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm getting some latency too. That's throwing me off. More so than I thought because now I just whiffed my torpedo run. So, you just brace for impact? Yeah, I'm getting amazing latency here. Because didn't I just tell you to brace for impact? That was weird. And sadly, well, my Stormhawks are going to be useful here. Weapons are destroyed. I think the name of the game is to see who can destroy whose weaponry first. It comes down to who could kill the other's prow. Thankfully, I have a way to mitigate his boarding potential. I just gotta time it well so they don't get shot down by the point defense. Okay, I saw that coming because the interesting thing is my torpedo time is exactly the same as his. And that was an amazing hit there. So far I'm on the upswing here. I just gotta follow it up somehow. And I'm a little bit paranoid of using my lock on because I may need brace for impact in a moment's notice. As helpful as it might be for these longer range type of engagements. And there goes my Stormhawk, so a couple of boarding attempts, nothing permanent. And can I shoot these? I have torpedoes. Yeah, this latency is throwing me off, and it's only 51 milliseconds, which is shocking me. I wasn't expecting the latency to be that off. I'm seeing the warping too, so it isn't just me. So, can I finish the deal? I'm going to take a bit of a hit. I have 2 temporary hits. And that's a complete dodge. I get boarding torpedo hits. And sadly, my brace for impact is gone, so... And I lost my deck, so you can't even do anything either. Actually, let me abuse my weight. Abuse my weight some and try and kill this cruiser. And also, I gotta keep an eye on my cooldowns. That would be kind of useful here. You are out for another 60 seconds before you can get repairs. So let's finish him off if he doesn't want to run away with them. There, I got my Stormhawks being launched. Shoot down his Thunderhawks. Oh, bastard. He shot down my own. Boarding torpedoes did hit though, so that fire should potentially kill him. So it begs the... Now I have the big question. Do I chase after him or trust the boarding torpedoes to kill him? Because 40 seconds till the repairs are back up. I'm going to easily dodge you. So I say I let the torpedoes try and finish it off. He's a brave person there if he decides to let that live. Okay, fire did the job. That paid off for me. That was a good choice. Because I could have dragged on after him and just prolonged the fight. Which really isn't a terribly bad thing. So repairs, still 10 seconds, and you will be fully operational, and I just hit myself. Thankfully, these are not Tau. I am perfectly safe. Oh, I told you burn retros. Get the Stormhawks, hopefully to get a shot in. It looks like I'm not seeing any boarding attempts, so they paid off. And your prow is completely destroyed. This settles the deal. If you do not run now, I am sorry, you're going to be like the last Space Marine I played against. You are going to die a horrible, miserable death. Although, he probably feels bad because of the level advantage. I have boarding torpedoes, which is quite significant for those longer range shots with the torpedoes. But I did get a solid close range regular dumbfire torpedo hit, so it was in my advantage even from that, I think. But I had the better flexibility just with that one damn upgrade. Good start though. I got my level 3 cruisers and nothing was heavily damaged, so we can dive right into the next one. Which, who knows, it could be a rematch. Which might, if that's the case... Oh, I chose the wrong light cruiser. I thought that was the one that was almost level 3. Now I feel tempted to field, try and get those two to level 3. Even out a little bit, but what I was thinking, if I get him again, was to try and take the cruiser and experiment with the hunter some again. With lack of boarding torpedoes for these things, they lose a lot of their flexibility and they are very vulnerable to boarding because of how easy it is to get hull breaches and fires on them. Which is kind of funny, considering sometimes like getting critical hits on like the deck rack is not really all that significant for the most part. But for a frigate, that normally means it's instant death if it gets like 2 hull breaches or a fire when it has its repairs offline. So they're a little susceptible, but it is something I want to experiment with more, is trying to use these frigates, because one issue that I have with these bombardment cans, because they would be amazing in contributing to my critical hits, the problem is I'm so torpedo centric, I have no effective way to get through the shields. Because after all, the firepower is a little bit weaker and they're not really focused on hitting the shields. I have torpedoes that go through shields, I have Thunderhawks that go through shields, and even regular boarding attempts go through shields. So unless I want to focus on destroying the generator just for the boarding cans, which I question, they're not going to be very valuable. Which is kind of why I want the frigates. They're more raw firepower with the exception of the hunter, maybe. Whether they're worth the fielding, hard to say. But that's something I would like to experiment with at some point. And maybe this match, we will see. Nope, it's Imperial Navy, even levels, so. And it's a breakthrough, this is going to be different. And I'm the attacker, so I have a bit of an advantage here with my boarding torpedoes. The question is, do I want to blitzkrieg through, use the boarding torpedoes to kind of whittle down the beacons on far from at long range, or do I just try and brute force through? I'm Space Marines, I do surgical strikes, and I kind of want to get these two to level 3 anyway. I just don't know what frigate would be better. One has turrets, the other has a lance, so... And the hunter is probably not the most efficient use. Again, lack of boarding torpedoes until I get level 3, which hopefully I'll have the renown for. That is wishful thinking at least. But so long as these ships stay alive, I'm in good shape. So the strategy seems really damn straightforward, if not irritating for the poor Imperial Navy player that has to fight me. I could even spread out really. I just need one ship to make it through. I just harass and try and just bull rush past the middle. And the frigate should be in position for when he chases after my cruisers to kind of clean up. If by chance the beacon maybe is low enough health that it just needs a little bit of a nudge, almost quite literally when I ram it. We'll see how this works. I just gotta be careful. This is probably gonna be a lot of map awareness and micromanagement I'm gonna have to do to make sure I don't get myself killed doing this. We will see. Now we just gotta get him to ready up. And at the very least, if he has a Dominator, I don't have to worry about a Nova Can doing massive damage to me. It's only a single Nova Can anyway, so it's not like it's gonna be get through the shields easily enough. He would need a perfect hit if it was a Dominator, which I'm not going to afford him. So, we're just gonna circle around like a vulture for the time being. So he doesn't have a Dominator, but that could easily be a Gothic, a Tyrant. It could be one of those many cruisers. It sure as hell ain't a battle cruiser, I can predict that much. That would be scary if he had an Overlord somehow, and I didn't get the point bonus for it. So Dominator, Frigate, and there's a frigate cruiser right there. So... oh, is that a... I'm seeing fighters. Is that a lunar? I'm not sure if that's a lunar or not. And I'm out of range currently to hit that. Yeah, with the Thunderhawks, so... I wonder... this should work in my advantage there, because I know he's in the Nebula Cloud. I don't even need to get close to the Nebula Cloud. And this playstyle it encourages him to kind of spread out. Really? He probably doesn't realize this is a hunter or frigate, I'm gonna guess. A bit underwhelming. But now it opens the door for me to backstab this thing. Oops, that was the wrong ship. Not that it matters too much, I was already saying it to turn towards the beacon. Now, just gotta get a Thunderhawk attack in. And we are golden. Do I want to do a regular torpedo? It kind of spreads it out. Again, I was talking about how the frigates can only suffer a fire and a hull breach. So the torpedoes are probably better? Until he repairs that anyway. So let's get in the board to kind of seal the deal. And I do have Stormhawks. Okay. Let me rush in there, get the board. And we're out. And hope that's enough. Yep, we got the hull breach. It was by the numbers, quite frankly. Not exactly exciting, I apologize if you want down and dirty type of brawl. But he has the raw firepower, I don't. Although I can ruin his day by just boring him to death. I'm not that mean. If anything, he should be thanking me for the free experience he just got. If he were to ask me. Because not very often you get all your ships completely intact. Okay, so I still have my Stormhawks, so we're in good shape for those bomber attempts. So that is game. All she wrote. Without any real engagement. Quite frankly, I'm trying to understand Space Marine tactics, but that is basically how they do it, right? They hit the weak points. They don't fight the wars, they just cripple it. To make it easy for everyone else to gain victory. Whoops, and I was about to type the wrong thing. Well, a little bit underwhelming, I'm sure. But solid victory nonetheless. Without a doubt, we got ourselves level 3 to top it all off. So the only thing left will be my new light cruiser and my strike cruiser that needs to get leveled up. Hell, I'm in a situation I can't quite get away with a favor. And besides, I kind of want to save it for the hunter just in case. So I'm gonna leave this slot open for the time being because I do want to consider a different frigates or light cruisers. As much as I love my torpedoes, I do want to experiment with different playstyles, like how the hell am I going to make use of these lances? But I am going to continue leveling up these servitors. Faster cooldowns for everything is very much welcome.